Hi, I'm Jo Elvin. This is Amanda Wakeley, and this is Friday Night Fashion. And guess what?
We're off to Paris.
Oh, finally, the city of fashion.
It really is, isn't it? And we have so much to talk about today. In fact, it was really hard to edit down these shows. But let's kick off.
So we're not going to. This is going to be 6 hours long.
You've been warned.
Yeah, no.
But let's kick off with Louis Vuitton, Nicolas Ghesquier's 10th anniversary.
It's really come full circle for me because 10 years ago, I interviewed him backstage for BBC Radio.
Oh, wow.
On the occasion of his first collection. And
tell me.
Well, it was amazing. It was only a few of us were allowed to do it. And I felt very privileged to be there. And it was everybody wanted to be at that show. Everybody loved that show. It was like a new dawn for the brand after Marc Jacobs. It wasn't as Marc Jacobs was all about bringing in a steam train and everybody sort of like really luxurious and like old school glamour. Vuitton went modern overnight. Lots of like really utilitarian leather looks and like things that there was apparently people sitting in the front row wearing his first collection and it still looked fresh. He just knows how to do a timeless, covetable collection, I think.
And it's so modern. Every time I look at his collections, I just think he gets the codes of the brand in there in such a modern way. And you know, when you look at how, even look one, how he has reinvented that Vuitton Bugatti bag, but yet it looks old and beaten up and it's not, and it's just ultimately covetable.
Exactly, and an instant classic, an instant cult item.
Absolutely.
That you want.
And for me, looking at all these fabrics in this collection, they're phenomenally modern and techy. There's so much.
Look at look 5 and 6. 4 and 5, sorry. How beautiful.
Now we are seeing a little bit of fur creeping back onto the catwalk and into these like sort of almost boxing glove type mitts.
I mean, kind of love them.
They're pretty fabulous. But do they need to be real fur?
Yeah, well, quite. Oh, I love look 8. This is like, it's this and one further down. This really reminds me of the silhouette that he introduced when he took over at the house. And it's just so, it's sexy, but really cool all at the same time.
I just love the way that he has taken the codes of the luggage and the bags and made it into a print. So you've got that in look 8 and then look 15. I think we've both agreed that is our absolute
standout
favorite.
That is for sure winging its way to a Vogue or Harper's Bazaar cover as we speak. That look, 100%. I love it with the little two-tone brogues as well. So quite unexpected. Could do without the fur gloves. Yeah, I think they're kind of, I love them in that I've never seen anything like that before in a glove. Yeah. So I quite love it.
But completely brilliant, that print. And I love the fact that he's used the original color of the Vuitton canvas.
Yep.
It just feels very, very beautifully executed.
Have a look at these more sporty looks. I'm loving again this sort of oversized silhouette we're seeing creeping in everywhere on look 16, 17 and 18. It's not quite as exaggerated as some, but I saw it rather elegantly described somewhere as the Mr. Incredible silhouette. It's like, you know, sort of like that sort of like A shape, and it's like coming in more and more. But who wouldn't want to be wearing that to travel on a plane? Like the ultimate luxe tracksuit.
It is, isn't it? The ultimate luxe bomber jacket. And leggings creeping back in, which is
look at those paillette leggings. Oh my goodness.
Yep, exactly.
Look 16.
I loved the simplicity of looks 23 and 24. Just these beautiful little draped woolen dresses.
Just absolutely perfect, really. I loved 26 and 27. That sort of like, is it lame?
I reckon that's a tweed with
I love the metallic effect.
Yes, it is, and it's, I think, got some paillettes in there. Very beautiful.
That's phenomenal.
And I love look 30. It's sort of the ultimate gold tracksuit.
It's a bit Ali G, but
it is pretty cool.
It's so wrong, it's right. I think. I love those frock coats, those really sort of like brocaded, gilded frock coats. They're incredible. These skirts are amazing. Oh my God. What's
And
going on here? Look at
then
that
we
bag.
get
Look,
into
40.
we get into quite a lot of fur. I cannot tell from these pictures whether it's real or fake.
I think you can guess.
I have.
Or maybe that one looks like it could be
Yeah,
a synthetic.
I think they might be synthetic. The gloves, I would say, are definitely real, but I might be wrong. You never know. And there's something about that silhouette that actually these big furry mittens does sort of anchor it, which I think is quite cool. I think this is a tick in the box. I also love what we're seeing quite a lot of all the way through the shows, but here at the end of the Vuitton show, this very shredded, deconstructed fabric. It feels very new and very unprecious, which I love.
Absolutely love look 63. Just the simplicity, but sexiness of that. Are they feathers or are they is it fringing?
I think that looks, when I zoom in on it, it looks like laser cut fabric.
It's
and
fabulous.
To create that sort of feathered effect. Seeing a lot of little capes coming through.
I'm not angry about that.
Nope.
I like a cape.
Love a cape. So we are loving Vuitton.
Congratulations, and it's his 10th year.
Yep.
Chanel.
Chanel.
Sorry,
Channel.
I can't help it.
It's the Aussie in you.
Yeah.
I'm missing Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah, well, I think you're
Who
not
wouldn't?
the only one there. I'm missing Karl Lagerfeld because I don't know, I used to go to the shows for more than just the clothes.
Yep.
It was the spectacle, the opulence, the theatre, and Karl really knew how to spend a Chanel budget on transporting you to a whole new world.
Yes.
My last one, there was a goddamn rocket ship in the middle of the Grand Palais. So I miss that. But I think this show's actually been reasonably well received because she has mined a lot of the sort of 20s archives of Coco Chanel and mashed it up with a bit of Karl Lagerfeld of the 70s.
Yes.
And I like it.
It's sort of almost taking you right back to the roots of Gabriel Chanel, isn't it?
And I like that you've landed right on looks 19, 20, 21 that have that sort of like that Jackie Kennedy vibe about the little tweed suit, but there wasn't so much of that expected Chanel in there, I thought.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, she definitely played into sort of look 2021 into these contrast trimmed knits.
Yeah, just in case any of their rich clients were fully panicking when the 70s looks came out. Don't worry, we've got you covered with your little tweed suit.
The shearling boots?
I'm not a fan of look 24 at all, actually. I don't like that there's not really any piece of skin on, there's not any piece of skin on show to make a virtue of any of the shapes there. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I think, let's say these girls have super lean legs, and I don't know if the shearling boots are doing anyone any favors.
They just, no, I'm not feeling the Andy Cap flat caps. I am feeling the knitwear. I am also feeling the big, broad summer sort of like Saint-Tropez hats. I love those.
Yep. And I think actually the shearlings are beautifully executed for Chanel. And I love look 37 taking it into the quilted bag. I think that's really, really covetable.
And I think that ultimately is probably what Chanel should be about, that sort of quiet luxury. You know, you don't necessarily have to be screaming that you're wearing Chanel. I like look 44. I thought that was like, because I really like, one of my favorite aspects of original Chanel is the really extravagant use of accessories. And I love that when we get into that kind of detail on those looks.
Yeah. And 45, actually, you've got
beautiful,
beautiful jewelry.
It's a bit too eclectic, isn't it?
It is. I'm just not quite sure of what's the message that's being put out here, because looks 53 and 54 are sort of.
I mean, look 52 is almost a little bit of old Tom Ford.
Yep. Yes, with the oversized shades, etc.
Oh my God, I do not like look 59.
I just don't see that as Chanel at all. I'm just not sure where that's coming from.
It's Game of Thrones. Oh my God, those boots look terrible with look 65.
Yep.
Stop it with the boots.
Stop it with the boots. Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm slightly on the edge
Look,
on
not our
this.
favourite, but as with all Chanel shows, I can always find elements that I would just have in my everyday wardrobe and put another way.
I'm sure you could.
If I could afford it.
Let's skip on to one of my favourite shows of the season, I have to say, was Saint Laurent.
Okay. You minx. Because it was also rude.
So here we've got Saint Laurent, Anthony Vaccarello. I'm not quite sure if I've got the pronunciation of that right. Forgive me, Anthony. But I absolutely loved this. I think this was sort of pushing his message of this super fine, super sheer, almost hosiery-like fabric.
Naked.
It's very naked, but I think in a show sense, it's absolutely exquisite. And
it's definitely your palette.
it is, isn't it? It's all of these caramels and nudes, and it's very nudes. There's a lot of nipples.
How, as a designer, tell me two questions, particularly things like look 4 and look 6. I mean, to me, you said it's got like a hosiery vibe. Is that going to last in my wardrobe if I do invest?
It is absolutely not. And in fact, I did read somewhere that the models had to stand still backstage because some of these garments took 4 days to make, and the minute they ladder, they're laddered. They're just, the minute they've got a tiny hole in them.
That's going to play havoc with my cost per wear ratio.
Well, I'm not even sure how much of this will go into production.
Well, that was my other question.
And
is this literally theatre, or is this, yes, ladies, please consider this for your autumn winter wardrobe?
I think this is a beautiful fashion statement. It will be very interesting to see how this gets translated, because you can imagine these pieces on the shop floor. You can imagine a customer's diamond ring just snagging on a £6,000 dress. Maybe not.
I love that burgundy on look 8.
Absolutely exquisite. I love the whole palette. I love this, you've almost got this body stocking on the head.
Yes,
too.
It reminds me of, there was a particular aesthetic with like portraiture in like the 1970s, wasn't there? Where it's like, the most glamorous women had the turban and the big earrings and stuff like that.
But I think there are nods to 70s Saint Laurent here. And I think this sort of mix of some of these very sculptural leathers.
I'm not feeling those Robocop leathers.
Aren't you?
No.
I just think, look, 12, look at that jacket. I think that's absolutely exquisite.
Yes, well, you need that kind of protection if you're going to wear your stocking shirt.
Look 11 actually reminds me of sort of Tom Ford early days. Sorry, Anthony, you're not going to love me for saying that.
I think that Tom Ford just haunts every house where he once was the creative director.
Yeah, little bit, little bit.
Yeah.
16 and 17, where you've got these silk chameause blouse dresses that sort of go into suspenders.
Well, you could put a nice, modest skirt over to that, I suppose. If you were a little bit more of a timid dresser. Look at those bags. Look at that. What is that bag on look 20? It's
a big furry looking bag.
Kind of wonderful.
It? I mean, it is pretty much the same message though, the whole show, really. These uber sheer, uber luxy.
How translatable do you think it is? I saw Lisa Armstrong in the Telegraph saying, no matter how much fashion tries to push this bare nipple thing, we're not having it. But they do keep pushing it. I definitely think that there will be celebrities who will be on this like a shot.
It will be really interesting to see who braves it, who doesn't.
Think you will, Amanda?
So not. Stop
really?
it. Stop it.
I bet you've got nice boobs.
So not. What I find quite interesting then, we've got all of this uber sheer, and then almost like a token, look 47, this sort of oversized mannish trouser suit wrapped in there.
Well, I don't understand the brain of designers, so you tell me. What's the message?
It feels, I mean, we've got look 44 and look 47. It slightly feels a little bit token, but I do think that is a very beautiful show.
It's stunning. It's certainly been talked about. I'd be fascinated to see what the Saint Laurent stores look like in 3 months' time.
And the commercial success of it. Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I would love to move on to Chloé.
Let's talk about Chloe. There's more sheer on the way, everybody. Good
More
news.
sheer.
Yeah.
With new creative director, Chumana Kamali, if that's how
Well
you
done.
pronounce her name. I'm not sure. I loved how this really was talking back to the 70s. It felt very much the roots of Chloe to me.
100%, particularly like look 3, that immediately says that to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
really sophisticated boho. I loved.
There's another cape, look 1.
Yeah,
We
there
love
was
that.
a lot of capes in this show. Personally, I love these ruffles of chiffon. It was so beautifully executed. If you look in look 12,
Very gorgeous.
and then these sort of more kaftani type dresses, look 16, but then with these lovely big chunky sort of 70s boots.
We've just had so many years, haven't we, of athleisure and so-called normcore. Do you think that now this is just what everyone's kind of crying out for now, a bit of that ruffly boho prettiness again?
I think so. I mean, I look at this show and think, gosh, you sort of want to wear this sort of into this summer already, don't you?
These plaids are incredible.
Yep, look 28, 30, beautiful.
Now that's how you do a boot, look 30, unlike the Chanel sort of like super over bulky one.
We've seen a lot of thigh boots this season, haven't we?
A lot of thigh boots, a lot of nipples, a lot of really big capes.
I think the volume in these capes, they're little, they're cropped, but they've got a lovely swagger to them.
Now, what do you think came first? If looking at look 42 and then on to look 43, that nod of fringing, there's definitely a Western vibe that's come through as well. That's been sort of like hanging on the periphery for a while, and now Beyonce's gone country. Do you think who influenced who? It's strange, isn't it? Oh, I like that violet cape in look 47.
Right,
Can I have that, please?
I love look 48. Look at that little tunic dress with just the flowing ruffles of chiffon.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Do you know, because I've never liked my legs, the minute I see that much leg, something shuts down in me.
I know.
But it is beautiful.
But look, we've got these great thigh boots that can deal with that.
Cover them up. Cover my father's knees for me.
I think, well, you and me both. The look 52, 53 to end the show, just those beautiful caramel colours.
Oh, and there's Sienna.
Looking fabulous. Every inch the Chloe girl.
She really is. And it's definitely a textbook Chloe show, isn't it? It's like, you know, let's take it back to its roots.
It is. And I've got high hopes. I mean, she's worked alongside a couple of the last creative directors. And I think she really understands the Chloe woman well, which is exciting. Daniel Roseberry at Schiaparelli.
Schiaparelli, which my snobby fashion daughter assures me is how you say it.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll believe her.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this?
I'm loving the tailoring. I'm loving particularly the old Canadian tuxedo on look 5 there. Oh my God, is that a tie or is that hair?
It is hair. It looks like hair to me, and it looks like a plait, which really...
Well, that's uncomfortable.
I find that really slightly disturbing on look 2 and 3. You know, it's brilliant and it's sort of witty and
we're talking about it.
And we're talking about it, but I find it really creepy.
But I'm loving the cuts on these oversized suits. I think they're fabulous.
Yeah.
And I would wear it with a tie.
Yeah.
But maybe not a hair tie.
A hair tie.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
These denim suits, look 5 is just the chicest, but please,
I just think
without
that's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, that I can see you in that, Miss Denim.
I can see me in it as well. I just need a sugar daddy now. Yeah.
Sorry, Ross.
Loving the texture of that coat on look 12.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, interesting, you know, he's really pared it right back down, because if you think of the last few seasons with those enormous, crazy accessories, whether it was the lion's head or the crazy jewelry, and then you look at something
which was
like...
so fun.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. And then you look at something like look 14, which, you know, my favorite khaki.
See, the cynic in me, though, thinks someone's had a word because nobody was stampeding to the shops to get their big lion head on a dress. And so now we've gone back to absolutely wearable.
Yes, that's how it feels. I think this overblown mock croc
I don't like
detail is... that's a bit of Schiaparelli humor coming
Yes,
through,
but that to
isn't it?
me, that look 20 looks to me, it almost looks like viscousy, like
Oof.
organic and a bit wet. I don't like
Oh,
it. Yeah,
please no.
no.
Now, look 26, I absolutely love. I know you're probably going to say that's too simple, but just
No.
look at the draping in that. Absolutely exquisite. You can see that walking straight off the runway into someone's wardrobe.
I like it. I prefer look 27.
Because,
I don't, there's just something about it, it looks like it's about to fall off her
well,
and she's the model.
yeah,
And so, do you know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm so boring and practical. But I just think that one's kind of glamorous as well.
It
but
is.
a bit more secure. And
Yeah.
I love the colour.
it is,
Yeah.
and very
Actually, I think I like
sophisticated.
look 25 the best out of those.
Yes, I
That's
feel,
gorgeous.
yes, look 30. I think this is exquisite. I mean, it's beautifully knitted. And look at these accessories, you know, the stacked
Just
bracelets.
incredible.
It feels, as you were saying, a lot more commercial. I thought,
It's
look,
very modern though.
it is. Thought look 30 for just an exquisite dinner
That is
coat,
so
floor
glamorous.
length.
But imagine turning up in just that. I think that would be so chic.
Yeah, it's a lot of leg out, isn't
Yeah.
it? But gorgeous. So I think very beautiful, but quite commercial.
Yeah, but I think it's great actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Stella McCartney.
Stella.
Stella. I love look one, I have to say. Just that tonal trouser suit with this massive fake fur, woolly maxi coat over the top.
I think that's basically the 101 of what Stella does really, really well. Like that tailoring, like really sort of like powder puff colors, really feminine, but you know, a really feminine take on a masculine cut, and I love it.
I think her years spent in Savile Row
Yeah.
really paid off in her ability to cut
Yeah.
exquisitely, tailoring.
I think it's fabulous. I didn't love everything about the show, but I definitely loved all the tailoring. And there was I can't remember, scroll down, there's a man where, yeah, see, to me, look 7, I'd wear that as well. And it's gorgeous.
I mean, we've talked about this briefly this season about how some of these clothes really are completely genderless.
Yep.
And I love that. I think that's beautiful. The other thing I think Stella is capable of doing really well is some of her knits. I
Yep.
think look 8.
That's pretty glamorous, isn't
Yes, you've got this exquisite cable knit, and then with this sort of more lofty fur type.
Is it shearling?
No, I don't think it would be. I think that will be some sort of yarn that just has this
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Would she
pile
not
on
use
it.
shearling? Is shearling considered cruel?
She would not use shilling,
Right, okay.
although it's a byproduct.
Yeah,
But she's
yeah.
vegetarian and
Okay.
all the rest of it.
Every day's a school day.
But which is interesting because she will use a PU coated vegan leather,
Well,
which quite frankly is
listen,
worse for the planet.
this is I think that probably things have moved on from this time, but I remember, yes, she's always been very all about animal kindness, and I love that, and in that environmental way. But then every season I would get a really plasticky invitation.
Yeah.
Like things like, once I got a little plastic deer toy. Once my daughter used to love it. I had a pair of plastic sunglasses that lit up, and it was like,
no, it's plastic.
yeah.
I have to say I could fall right into look 11.
It's very you, that, Amanda. It really is. It's gorgeous.
So just those
Yeah.
gorgeous oversized grey knits. I'm sure it's cashmere with that fantastic oversized sort of blanket scarf.
What do you think of that lady next to her in look 10 being eaten by that red scarf?
I find that the red wormy scarf a little creepy.
It's a bit War of the Worlds.
It is.
This is what I really didn't like, was the chiffony print look 20. I don't like it with those really chunky boots. And I just found it just a not very interesting print, and reminded me of old Prada. So what's the point?
It just feels a bit clunky, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, I suppose those are like red lips, kisses.
Yeah, hate it with those boots.
Yeah,
Hate it.
just doesn't feel clever enough. I'm sort of loving the little sequin tunic t-shirt.
Yep, very nice.
I think that's just
look 25.
just absolutely gorgeous.
And I like the big fringing jacket in look 27.
You do, yeah. Super cool. It's that Western vibe coming
honestly,
through.
it's so weird. 12 months ago, I would have said, ugh, I'm not wearing cowboy boots or fringing. And now, I don't know, I'm thinking about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
always ready for a cowboy boot. I love the sweater in look 32.
That's
I think
fantastic.
that's really brilliant. I love that sort of almost cut and put back together.
It's very clever.
The V-neck cable in the charcoal with the camel roll
And
neck.
I really
Gorgeous.
love grey and camel together.
Yeah.
I hope Lila Moss got paid because what? Look 36. What is going on?
Well, we've got a lot of turquoise
Can you
worms,
explain this
haven't
to
we?
me?
Look 44, gorgeous. I love the ease
Very
of
pretty.
that dress.
Oh, I'm quite into the chainmail look.
Look 51?
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Gosh, that sheer thing is everywhere.
It is. More nipples.
Yeah.
And more fluff. Look 57. That's Natalia Vodianova.
It's going to be a cuddly winter.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'd be fascinated to know exactly what that fabric is because it's got to be eco, hasn't it?
Yes. Now I love that white suit on
Yeah.
Lindsay Look 56. That
Yeah.
is, again, when I think of Stella McCartney, that's what I think
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Perfect tailoring.
Yeah.
To round off, I think we've got to give one of
my country women. Well, there's two of them, isn't there? Zimmermann.
Yes.
I love Zimmermann. And now I know we kind of like you're a bit up and down on it.
I am. The aesthetic is generally too girly for me.
Right.
But I have to say, in your honor, I looked at the show and I always think of Zimmermann as quite a summer brand.
And it's interesting because you like the Chloé boho, and Zimmermann is usually quite boho-ish.
But I think it's just a lot of floral, and I'm not great on floral.
Although, look at that, look 3, that leopard print is fabulous.
Is fabulous, but look 1 to me just sums up.
It's so glamorous.
It's so glamorous.
It's so not Australian. I mean, if you walked into the barbecue in Sydney, you were like, who the hell do you think you are? So they had to come to Paris. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that just is so chic. Wouldn't look at that and say that's Zimmermann.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're not chic, but I think that's absolutely exquisite.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to invest in either the leopard or the denim voluminous blouse with the pussy bow. I just think it's just got my name written all over it.
It really is exquisite. Where is it?
There
Here
we
go.
Look 14. Oh my goodness. I love it.
Absolutely gorgeous. And I also love it with the denim pant. Do you know what that reminds me of? Alba's long van. That's true. Could have been him. It's very much, I know, God rest his soul.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I think
here we go. So look 21's getting into what you would think of when you think of Zimmermann. And I don't love that, if I'm honest.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't either. But I think there are elements here that are really, really gorgeous, and I think deserve to be shown in Paris.
It's hard to get on the world stage as an Australian designer.
Well, I think
it really is.
I think they really deserve it.
Yeah.
I think you can see some of this sort of almost lingerie coming through, and you sort of think actually Zimmermann would be a fantastic lingerie brand too. I can really believe, here in Look 45.
That's really cool.
That just looks like the most beautiful little bra under that big shearling. It's a very chic catwalk look. And I think
it's fantastic.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Put me down for that denim blouse.
What do you think it would retail at?
Probably about 600, I bet.
I think you're being conservative.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me dream.
Let you dream.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to that when we know it.
Yeah. They never strike me as a brand that's that bad in terms of price. I've got some Zimmermann. If I've got it, it's not that bad. So
with your press discount?
No, I bought it in Australia.
Probably a lot cheaper there. I mean, we could go on and on and on about Paris. There's so many brands that we haven't even touched on. We haven't touched on Dior, Miu Miu, Balenciaga. I mean, a raft of designers, but I think we've sort of picked out our favourites.
100%. Although quick, you know, I did love Miu Miu, but yeah,
it was
for another day.
super
Yeah,
chic
yeah.
for another day. Thank you. We are over and out. Friday Night Fashion. Hope you've enjoyed our little mini roundup of Paris.
And let us know what you think, and if you disagree with us or if you agree with us, we'd love to hear.
Absolutely. Bye.